Hello and welcome to the two-man power trip of wrestling. I'm your host, JP John Poz. With me today, very special guest, former Impact and TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Of course, he's a former NFL player as well. He is Moose. Moose, welcome to the two-man power trip. How you doing?
I'm doing good. In Cincinnati, just got here last night. Ready to do some media for the shows next weekend.
Yes, you got some big shows coming up, obviously, in the greater Cincinnati area. You got some shows coming up. Tell us about what's coming up May 7th and May 8th. I know Under Siege is
Yeah,
coming up.
we have Under Siege, and then we have the tapings afterwards. Pretty excited. I don't think I've actually wrestled in Cincinnati, so this is the first time, and I'm looking forward to it.
Probably played football there, but you never wrestled there, I guess.
I played football here. Never this first time, definitely wrestling here.
So what do you think about the big shows coming to the area? Obviously, we got Access TV or access.com. You get some tickets and they're available there. But what do you think about the big shows? I mean, what are you going to be doing?
I have no idea yet. Obviously, I'm coming from a weekend where I just lost my title, and obviously, I had promotions all over the place. So, I mean, I have a lot to talk about. And but yeah, other than that, I really don't know what I'm going to do. Looking forward to it though.
Impact seems like, now they're going on this world tour. You got Kissimmee, Florida the following week. So, I mean, it seems like Impact really stepping up the game as far as doing some live touring again.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much where we were before pre-COVID, where we was doing a lot of touring, and it's just glad I'm happy that we're getting back to doing that.
Tell us a little bit. You mentioned the title loss, obviously. Tell us a little bit about Rebellion and the match with Josh Alexander. Great match, but obviously, what's the thoughts and the feelings on losing the Impact World title?
Obviously, anybody you never want to lose a match, no, regardless of how good the match is. Um, Definitely a tough loss, but I lost to a very incredible wrestler in Josh Alexander, and I guess it's his turn for him to carry the company, and let's see what he could do with it. I mean, Impact is known for creating stars, and they created one in Josh, and let's see what he could do with the position he's given.
What was your thoughts just on the match overall? I know you're saying you hate losing the title. What was the thoughts on the match overall? It was a great match.
Definitely, really, really, really good match. I mean, obviously everybody's buzzing about it, so calling it match of the year, and so definitely a match of the year candidate. So that's always good stuff. I'm happy with it. Definitely one of my better matches. And, yeah. So, but like I said, all that stuff doesn't really matter because I lost what means the most to me. But the truth is, I can't be champion forever, and somebody has to get the opportunity to see what they can do with being the face of the company or having the top prize of the company. So let's see what Josh does with it. I'm excited to see what he does with it also.
Just talk a little bit about the chemistry with Josh, because obviously it's a long story. It starts for Bound for Glory and it ends at Rebellion, really. But tell us about the chemistry with Josh. Seems like you guys definitely have great chemistry together.
Yeah, we're both good athletes and great wrestlers, some of the best in the world. And so, I mean, obviously, there's always going to be chemistry when you have two guys as skilled as they are wrestling each other. So, I mean, that wasn't a worry at all. The match wasn't going to be good. We just didn't know how good it was going to be. And obviously, it was good enough to be called one of the best matches in the best championship match in Impact's history, and definitely a match of the year candidate. So happy to be part of that, and let's see what happens next.
You take a lot of pride in that because obviously Impact been around for 20 years. They have a lot of great champions and a lot of great championship matches. You can go to Impact Plus, and I mean you'll see thousands of great matches. You put a lot of pride in that you guys had one of the best.
Oh, definitely. Look at some of the names that have come through Impact Wrestling with the AJs, the Samoa Joes, the Kurt Angles, Bobby Roode. So being a part of that history, saying your match tops some of those guys' names that I just mentioned is definitely a big compliment, a huge compliment.
So just rewinding to Bound for Glory last year, when you win the call your shot, the gauntlet, the battle royal, Then you win the world title against Josh Alexander very quickly. But what's the thought process like of you actually winning the title? Did that mean a lot to you? Because a lot of wrestlers, it's like, it's just, it's just, another day or another, another business thing. But a lot of the guys, it means a ton to be the world champion.
Oh, it definitely meant a lot to being the world champion. Just of how hard I worked and the time and the work that I put in and the blood, sweat, and tears that I put in and the weight that I lost and the change in character and change in how I perceive wrestling. So definitely that's always once you win the title after all the work you put in, it's almost like that's kind of like your paycheck winning that title. So yeah, I was definitely proud of winning it and accomplishing some of the things I did this past year and the last 2 years. So yeah.
How do you feel like your growth as a wrestler during that time period? Like you've seemed like you've gotten better and better each year.
I'm definitely happy with my growth. And I'm still not at a place where I can be comfortable and say, "Yeah, I'm here." Still a lot of work I have to do because you always get better in professional wrestling, and that's my goal, just to keep being better as a performer and as a person.
182 days as world champion, pretty impressive. Up there with one of the best reigns. I mean, you beat Eddie Edwards, you beat a ton of good guys. Heath, you killed Zicky Dice. I mean, you did a bunch of great things. What do you think overall on the title run?
Definitely good. Now let's just see what I could do when I have my second title run, whenever that is, how I could top this first one. I'm already thinking down the road. I mean, I can't hold on to the past, and 182 days or 6 month reign as titles is in the past already. So now I'm studying and thinking of things to do to make my second title reign whenever that comes better.
You're not done with Josh Alexander yet, I'm guessing.
I mean, you'll have to watch the shows to find out.
So for you though, you look in great shape. I mean, you're always in good shape, but now you're in like crazy shape. How did you get into the shape you're in now?
Consistency, finding a diet plan that works for me, and just being consistent.
Being a former NFL guy, I know obviously linemen, a lot of them have to be bigger just in general, but you don't see them be shredded, right? I mean, usually the linemen are big, but not the way you look.
I'm not an offensive lineman anymore.
Right, right.
80 pounds
Yeah.
less in the weight than what I used to be when I was an offensive lineman. So yeah, I don't have to worry about being a big boy anymore. Yes, say.
Do you work out like every day? Like, what's the workout regimen look like?
Oh yeah, definitely every day. I do something physically every day. But honestly, this week we are in right now, I decided to take the whole week off to rest some of my soreness and some of my injuries to recover. So I'll be taking the next week and maybe even 2 weeks off working out or hitting the weights. Maybe just being consistent with my cardio. Um, but I'm taking a couple of weeks off, being a regular human being, not being as strict as I have been with my diet and not hitting them, pounding the weights every day. Because yeah, I mean my body's pretty beat up right now, just pain everywhere. So yeah, I need to cut back a little bit and just live like a regular human being for a week or two, and then dial back in.
How do you stay shape? 'Cause you guys are going back on the road, so it's got to be harder on the road staying in shape. Finding the gym, eating right. How do you do it on the road?
People say that. For me, I mean, once you have your plan down, it's the same thing as being on the road or being at home. Is you have to plan for it. So, usually on the road, I'll pack my meals with me, and then, I mean, obviously, when you're at home, you don't have to pack meals with you because you're at home and everything's in your refrigerator. But the only difference is being on the road, you just have to pack what you eat. But like I said, for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to take a break and ease up a little bit because I've been going hard for very, 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 very long. And sometimes going that hard for that long becomes like a mental stress, and it becomes a mental stress, and I just need to like dial it back some. And like I said, just live like a regular human being and enjoy life for a couple of weeks. And then in preparation for Slammiversary, in about a week, in about 2 weeks, I'll dial back in 100% and start getting ready for Slammiversary.
Is that the key to staying in shape too, though? Not always putting the pedal to the metal, like not always pressing the gas, just easing up a little bit sometimes.
I mean, obviously you don't want to die.
Yeah.
Uh, always being lean is definitely not a healthy lifestyle to look the way I do or work the way I do year round. That's what causes heart attack and causes stress and causes injuries. So yeah, so what I usually do, I usually go hard for a good 4 or 5 months, and then take about 2 weeks off where I'm not doing anything, and then after those 2 weeks off, we go right back at it for about 4 months, and yeah, so I'm in that stage now. I'm taking a couple of weeks off, just lifting weights and measuring every ounce of food that I eat, and yeah, I'm just living like a regular human. I mean, enjoying life for the next 10 days at least. Then we'll get back to it.
Was pro wrestling harder on the body than the NFL? Like what's harder on you?
Oh no, people ask me all the time. The NFL is definitely way harder. I mean, if I was as physical and as psycho with my diet and my workout regimen as I was when I played in the NFL, I probably wouldn't be in this planet right now. That just shows how hard the NFL is compared to wrestling.
When you look at it, which I was pretty amazed at, because I was just trying to think like NFL guys that were world champions and really modern day, and I was looking at a few Impact things. You and Bill Goldberg are the only two guys that were, world champion from the modern era. I mean, that's pretty amazing, pretty rarefied air if you think
Yeah,
about it.
definitely a good class of people to be in. Myself and Bill Goldberg, and yeah, that tells a lot, and I'm happy to be in that list with him.
Man, that's pretty crazy. Like you think of all the NFL guys, and there's so many NFL guys that would wrestle. I mean, there's so many different guys. I can name a million, but it's pretty crazy. Think like, okay, modern day. I know obviously you got Ernie Ladd and Dick the Bruiser and Bronco Nagurski, and you got some old school guys, but it's pretty amazing to think, you're in that company.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Like I said, being Bill Goldberg, it doesn't get better than that. And we'll see. We'll see who else could join the list here in the next few years.
For you, like what's like a dream match or matches you want to have coming up? I know maybe some unfinished business with Jonah, the two big hosses going at it again, but what are some other matches you're looking forward to coming up in Impact?
Oh man, we have a stacked roster, man. There's so many guys that I haven't even had a chance to face yet. The Good Brothers being one of them. I would like to see those two guys. I would like to see those two guys, one-on-one match at some point with myself and Doc and myself and Carl Anderson. Guys like EY that I've never gotten a chance to work with. Guys like Steve Macklin, which he came out with a great performance at Rebellion. Jay White, um, Alex Shelley, a guy that I respect very well that I've never done anything with one on one. That is. So yeah, we have a huge roster of guys I've never um, done anything with. I mean, they're saying now the Briscoes might be coming in, so those two guys are guys that I haven't wrestled since I've been as good as I am. I know I wrestled them a bunch of times when I was in Ring of Honor, but I was a lot greener then, so it would definitely call for a different style match if I was to wrestle those guys now. So yeah, we have a huge roster full of guys. I haven't even mentioned the honorable guys, and obviously Jonah. Uh, yeah, so we have a wild array of guys in our roster that are like that I guess you could call a dream match, right?
When you look at other guys you've wrestled before, I'd love to see you wrestle again. He's just great chemistry. But you and Eddie Edwards seems like like destined to always clash. What about Eddie? You guys always seem like you guys have great matches.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like you asked me guys who I haven't wrestled yet. I mean, obviously Eddie's definitely a go-to, but I think me and Eddie has wrestled enough for to entertain the crowd and go back to the archives to watch for the next 10 years. I mean, you talking about a guy who I've wrestled probably the most in my Impact career. So if you guys want to see an Eddie Moose match, just go on Impact Plus, and I'm sure there's like 12, 13 of them on there that you can pick from.
Oh yeah, big rivalry. What is like about the chemistry though with you guys? Seems like you guys connect always. Like whenever you're in there together.
Oh yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is when you're good friends with somebody, connection is definitely always there, and the chemistry is always going to be there. So, and you talking about guys who are really good friends in real life and who have wrestled each other as much as we have. We don't even have to talk about the match prior to going out there. We just go out there and call it because we've done it so many times. So.
When you just look back at some other matches, what are some of your other favorites that you had with Impact? 'Cause, I mean, you've had a ton of good ones, but what are some other ones that stick out to you?
Definitely both matches I had with Chris Sabin, matches I had with Rich Swan, Willie Mack, um, the Kenny Omega match. I mean, I've had so many good ones, man. It's hard to, to dissect them and pick, pick them out, you know. The three-way I had with Morrissey and Cardona, that was pretty good. So yeah, I've had a lot, man.
Was it important? Obviously, the Kenny Omega match and was a great match. Was it important to bring back the TNA World Title because that was a great gimmick when you guys brought it back and you were the TNA champion? Was that important to you to do that?
Oh yeah, it was just something different. Obviously, it wasn't my idea. I just do what I'm told. But yeah, it was definitely something unique, something different. I think the fans enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was definitely something different, but it was almost like out of nowhere, but it made sense. You know what I mean? Like everybody remembers TNA, and most people remember that title, so it felt like it meant something.
Yeah, it definitely did.
So as we wind it down, we head towards the finish. Got to mention again, of course, May 7th, May 8th, Under Siege. You'll be in Cincinnati, the greater Cincinnati area. Tickets available, access.com for more. Tell us just one last kind of final push for the shows in Cincinnati.
Get your tickets before it's too late. The last time I checked, tickets was moving very fast, so you don't want to wait too late before the tickets are sold out. So go on, I think ImpactWrestling.com and Ticketmaster, I believe, also has them. And buy your tickets.
Also, the week after that, you'll be in Kissimmee, Florida, which is obviously Orlando area.
Yeah, that's
Give it,
home.
yeah, give us a little push for that show as well.
Oh, I mean, same thing. Last time I checked, those tickets are moving really fast too. So you don't want to wait too late or be last minute like I am. Don't be a procrastinator. Buy those tickets right now because I guarantee you, if you wait the week of or wait a couple of days before, it's gonna be sold out. You're gonna be stuck not being able to watch the show.
Where do you see yourself? Just maybe a couple years, like where do you see Moose? Like, where do you see the maturation process of yourself?
I honestly, I hate answering that question because you never know what's going to happen today or tomorrow. I mean, I could go out there and get in a plane crash or a car crash and not be here. But my goal every day when I wake up is be a better entertainer and better person than I was the day before. That's all I can control is a day that I am in, and that's what my goal is for each day that I'm in.
Any goals you have yet to achieve that you want to achieve in the business?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely plenty of goals. I mean, just in Impact Wrestling, because that's where I'm currently at. I mean, I would like to have a tag title run if I could find a tag team partner that suits my style, but I like enough. Or I've never been an X Division champion, so maybe one day going after the X Division title.
before we let you go, where can everybody find you personally, social media, and everything else you got going on?
My Instagram is the Moose Nation, and my Instagram is Moose Nation 69. I'm sorry, and my Twitter is the Moose Nation.
All right, Moose, awesome stuff. Thank you again. Of course, Impact Wrestling coming to the greater Cincinnati area and Kissimmee, Florida. First Cincinnati, May 7th and May 8th, and the week after in Kissimmee, Florida, and Orlando. It's a beautiful Orlando. But Moose, thank you so much for all the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.